Alright guys, time to review Team of the Week 13. Just came out for EA Sports MUT. We'll start at the bottom and get to the good players at the top. Frank Zombo, we decided that Aaron Lynch is going to be a much better value. Zombo, even though he has good speed, strength, excel in block shed, and I think his power move is pretty decent for rushing the passer. I think it's 92. He's too balanced across the board. You need him to either be a pass rushing left outside backer, a zone coverage left outside backer. He's more of like a middle linebacker where the Kirksies are better than him, the Quan Alexander's better than him, and then at the edge, at the outside linebacker position, he gets dominated by the true Football Outsiders, Aaron Lynch, for less coins. So we're passing on to Zombo. Green-Beckham, interesting case here. We decided that you do not see speed, agility, and acceleration. It holds true in all categories with size like this. The route running's a little low, and the release is a little suspect. But if you can look beyond those, he compares very favorably to Alshon Jeffrey, base gold, and like Kelvin Benjamin, base gold, because of the balance of speed and spec with size. But he's like 7 points faster than those guys, and he doesn't randomly have no agility. Those guys are better at release, but this is going to be a specific item for inexpensive coins that will be very good at winning one-on-one balls, being big, and still being pretty fast for what you get with them. Eddie Goldman, we do not like the Eddie Goldman. We like 91 strength, we like 93 block shed, and 88 power move. We think that's a pretty good blend, the strength and the block shed for the run game, the power move for the pass game, but at D tackle, you really only need one or two. Brandon Williams, road to playoff Jonathan Hankins, Dan Williams. There's just Danny Shelton. There's better run stuff in beef guys, and then there's better just pure power move pass rushing guys for way less. Slide a D end over on passing downs and get that 88 power move higher. Richard Rodgers, 87 speed, 92 spec off of his Hail Mary. 80 release. He's got 64 route running. Very, very low. I still think at 6'4", the speed and spec is actually pretty nice. Ladarius Green road to the playoffs is kind of, if you wanted a fast guy with good spec, who you could get as well. The Julius Thomas base is super cheap, and the route running is like 27 points higher. He's like at 89. So you can't, depending on what you want the Rodgers to be, I think the Gary Barnidge is better all around as well, because he actually has a little more strength and a little more run block. Still has some of the specs. Still doesn't have the route running that this has, but you're not missing anything. Rodgers is pretty good for speed and spec, but can't fully recommend him as there's better options out there. Shelby at left end. We decided that not going to make the grade. His acceleration's not there. His strength and block shed aren't there for a run stuffing player. He falls into that Cameron Hayward 4-3 D end type thing where, 93 power move's pretty good, but the Randy Gregory's better at just purely rushing the passer. The Jaquez Smith has like 95 finesse move for just rushing the passer. And then you've got guys like Muhammad Wilkerson for the run game that you can sub in to get higher strength, higher block shed. So he's caught in the same problem with the Zombo. He is too balanced with his strength, block shed, power move, and that doesn't allow him to really peak in one category to make him useful for one thing. Very, very solid player right here. He'll be in on every down, some good snaps, but there's more value to get from other players. Jeremy Hill, we actually like a lot. 90 speed is good. Agility's okay. 95 truck with 88 elusive. So we looked at some other backs. We looked at Todd Gurley, who's faster, but doesned have quite as high truck, I don't believe. Hill's carry at 83 concerns me. We ended up looking at, for 10,000 coins, Jonathan Stewart, Football Outsiders, who is an elusive back, but does a lot of the things that the Hill does. I think he's got like 97 elusive, which is pretty crazy. So I'm going to recommend go with the Stewart, unless you really want a truck back. We also talked about Team of the Week, Chris Ivory. Same truck, super low agility, and you're not like you're getting much agility here. Straight ahead runner, truck some tackles. Hill's pretty solid. We got to see where he settles, but there's value to be had either from the Gurley Schefter, the Ivory for straight truck, or the Stewart at 10K for more speed, more elusive. Malcolm Jenkins was an interesting case. 90 speed, 90 zone. Not having the hip power and the play rec. He's got really low tackle. Kind of hurts him. We looked at him against the base McCourty. He's faster than McCourty with his acceleration and agility all combined. And McCourty's got a little better zone and man. So I still think you go there. I still, can't get over recommending the Quinn enough if you do your first style solos. Like, that's the grind you need to go on if you're really trying to improve. Jenkins makes an interesting case, but I would say with the lack of hip power, the fact that with 82 play rec, he'll be good but not great. I'm going to pass on him. I think the Aloka coming out last week having 94 zone and being taller at strong safety means you could have Glover Quinn at one spot and then either kind of the Jenkins or the Aloka or some of the other good options out there. Free safeties are just too many already. If this guy was strong safety, then he gets in this conversation. But there's too many free safeties. Bortles. We know that Blake Bortles is not better than 88 Marcus Mariota. Mariota's 10 speed faster, same throw power, +2 short throw for Mariota. Medium's better for Mariota, and deep accuracy's the same, and then his throw on the run is higher than Bortles. So if you're like really wanting to win, you got to use 88 Mariota. The only place he beats him is play action fakes. With that said, compared to the Derek Carr, compared to Bortles' last version, he got some pretty nice upgrades. This is a solid item. He's not a scrambler, but he definitely has 80 speed, which will help out. And I like to see the short throw over 90. If medium was over 90, that would be good too. But with 84 deep, that's going to let you down. And there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that will let you down. Like if Marcus Mariota is going to let you down with 84 deep, why not take the 10 free speed? You got to see where he ends up in price-wise, but I'd take the Mariota. Brandon Marshall, super interesting case here because he has 92 speed with 97 release, 99 catch and traffic, 94 spec. Compare him to the Kelvin Benjamin, the Andre Johnson, the Calvin Johnson, the spec and catch and traffic, they all kind of like, some of those guys have 99 catch and traffic, some of those guys have like 99 spec. That'll all kind of, over time, in my opinion, come out in the wash of one-on-one battles. Do you win them? So Marshall's very, very good there. He's got very high acceleration and speed for a Marshall, but his agility's 81. Combine that with 92 route running, we're going to test and see if the agility at 81 is a factor with the route running. Can he beat man? Because he's got the release to beat it. So I'm kind of concerned there. I think the Hines Ward mix, he's comparable to the Hines Ward because of his strength in run block. This is one of the best run blockers in the game. So you get a Marshall and a Hines Ward, you're all of a sudden in business. The Ward's, a little higher overall, but I think I like him a little bit better. But I am intrigued by the Marshall, but that's a big test for him to see. That 81 agility just kind of freaks me out a little. But if I need to get a run blocker, I'm going Marshall. And he's going to hang on to everything with 99 catch and traffic and the spec combo. That's a very, very high combo. Puts him a little bit above teaming with Calvin. Last guy here is Pat Pete. Pat Pete has 95 speed. 95 press is his elite rating. Like, that's the reason you would buy Pat Pete. He's a man coverage defender, more so than zone. He did get 5+ zone from his last Draft Champs item. Agility's good, so he's very comparable to Pac-Man Jones' signature, so we want to see where those prices settle at. I would say the Hayden is better than the Pat Pete just because the play rec's higher in the pursuit. Rod Woodson is up there. There's very few players with 95 speed that also have the press. We did a look. It was like Dion. It was all very expensive. Pat Pete was at the bottom end of that. So if you want to press and you favor press and you value press, Jimmy Smith has 98, but he doesn't have the speed in the Excel. DRC has the speed and the Excel and the agility, but he doesn't have the press. Aaron Ross has the press, but not the speed, but I do like the Ross. So depending where this Pat Pete settles, you don't sell your Rondé Barber if you're a zone coverage player to get Pat Pete. Barber 98 zone, so he's got the edge there in the 95 press. So we're going to have to look at the price, but if you're playing man defense, this is a guy you got to get for your squad. He's up there with the Jones, with the Dion, with the Woodson now. I'm going to give the edge to Woodson, although Woodson hasn't been playing that well for me, but I would give him the slight edge. He's obviously going to cost a little bit more. So that's a quick look at Week 13 Team of the Week. If you guys got questions, let me know in the comments, in the chat. We'll break it down. We did look at all comparable players on Muthead earlier on MUT Lunch. We went over it, so you guys can check the archive if you want to really know more comparable players to these guys and how in-depth we went into everything. But no on Zombo, yes on Green-Beckham, no on Goldman, no on Rodgers, no on Shelby, no on Hill, no on Jenkins, no on Bortles, yes on Marshalls, yes on Pat Pete. And that's where we ended up. Boom, there it is. Subscribe to the channel, boys. All right, quick. That was our Team of the Week review. We checked it out.